a struggle, even though I figured it out. Like I heard people say you're not, that you weren't, that I wasn't good enough, that no one will want me because I had a child. Hello and welcome to the Christyn Show. Welcome back for those that have been with me for a while, and then welcome to all those that have just joining us. I am so excited to get started. We have been talking about identity, and today we're going to talk about like events and words that tarnished our identity. I wanted to tell you a story. But before I did that, I want to tell you about something that I heard T.D. Jakes say the other day. He said that, did you realize that a rose had thorns on it? And if you do know that, of course, most people know that a rose has thorns on it, but the thorns are there to protect the flower. And I was just thinking about that statement, like, what are the thorny situations that we've been in that were protecting us? Because I see us as the flower. And I know we've been through a lot of things, and I'm just trying to figure out, how do we get to the point where our identity is something that we're challenged with? So I said, okay, so what could it be? So I said, you know what? I remember when I was a child and not knowing who I truly was. And that's one thing. I wanted to encourage you guys to tell not only yourselves, but your kids or people around you about who they are, because not knowing who you are will allow people to do anything, or it'll lead you to allowing anything. And I just want to tell you a quick story about when I was a teenager and when I was struggling with who I was, and that led up to who I am today and the things that I struggle with now. And I wanted to be able to give you this information to help build you to be better, that your story changes. And yes, my story is continuously changing, but I had to learn things on the way. And I had to, if you can just constantly remind yourself of who you are and who you were called to be, or the positive things in your life, or just reminding others around you of who they are. So talking about that is leading to the story that I wanted to tell you about. I became a teen mom, and I wanted to tell you how I got there. And I got there because I didn't know who I was. Most teenagers think they know who they are. They know everything, and nobody could tell them anything. And at some point, that was me. You couldn't tell me anything. I knew who I was, but I really didn't. I didn't know really who I was. And I think that's another thing I wanted to add. Like, remind people who they are and whose they are, and then they will start walking in those things. So I want to tell you about when I became a teen mom, and how it was just the hardest thing. And I was so embarrassed. And it reminded me of what Eve may have felt like when she ate the fruit that God told her not to eat, and how she was so ashamed, because I was ashamed. And that I thought that God would never forgive me. But then I started to think about how I kept pushing and kept doing the thing, because I knew He had a plan for me. I knew I had to keep pushing. I knew I had to keep moving. I knew that that my pregnancy or my child wasn't going to stop me, and I knew I had to raise him into who he needed to be. So I needed to be strong enough to do that. So I had to start working on my identity and knowing who I was, because I had to put this same thing into a child. And I decided that I had to dare to believe in me, and to know that I I had to know that I had more to do. So I didn't know at the time that these things were tarnishing my identity, but I figured it out as I went. But it still was a struggle, even though I figured it out. Like I heard people say you're not, that I wasn't good enough, that no one would want me because I had a child. Just different things that kept pulling at my identity. And I was just like, finally, I was like, this is enough. And I just watched God just show off in my life. Like he just started doing things. When I started giving all my issues and my problems to him, he started fixing those things. No, it didn't happen right away. No, I didn't overcome right away. Because we talked about this before. Like this was something that's been happening. Identity has been an issue that I've been dealing with for a while. And finally I just was like, enough. Like this is not going to be my situation, and I want to be able to help others. So, just talking about the different things that hurt my identity, I thought that in bringing up, having a child at a young age and not knowing where you can go and where it's going to take you, and just letting you know that if you keep pushing, all that is going to pay off. And I also learned, and I wanted to leave you with this last tip, this last quote that I heard. It's not a tip, it's a quote. But the last quote I heard, it says, if you continue to be better each day and remember that God will put you back together right in front of the people that broke you. That thing hit me hard when I heard it. Hit me so hard, like, wow, because I watched God start putting pieces together. I watched my son graduate from high school. I watched my son make great, amazing grades. I watched him be celebrated. I watched him graduate with honors. I watched him go to a big college, and I'm just so grateful. Even if he wouldn't have done those things, I still know that God is so good that he just continues to do those things, and that everything is going to pay off. Like you keep doing what you're supposed to do. You keep working hard. You keep reminding yourself who you were called to be. Even if you don't know, start finding things that you want to be, and start writing those things and going over them and reading them daily. And I think that we're going to make it through this thing. And I believe that your identity is just going to continuously build up. Like you're going to continue to see that there's more in you, that you were like in that place for so long, like, and you're going to go back, you're going to look back and be like, why was I in this space so long? Why did it take me this long to find out what I'm worth? How about that? What I'm worth. Why did it take me that long to find out what I'm worth? And I just want you to know that you're worth so much, and you're worthy of so much. Just keep pushing. I love you guys. If no one else told you they love you today, just know that God loves you, and I love you. Bye, guys. Thank you for coming to the J. Christyn Show. Peace. Love you guys. Hey, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you got anything from it, please share it with someone you think it will bless. And make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to the J. Christyn Show right here on YouTube. You can download the audio-only version by subscribing to the show on most major podcast platforms. Also, make sure you check out our links in the comments below for more ways to engage with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on the J. Christyn Show.